On June 7, 2013, a man once feared as the embodiment of evil took his final breath. There were no screams, no blood, just silence. But the fear he left behind still lingers. This is the chilling final chapter of the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. Richard Ramirez wasn't just a killer, he was a predator who stalked Los Angeles in the mid-1980s, leaving a trail of terror unlike any the city had ever known. Between 1984 and 1985, Ramirez brutally murdered at least 13 people, though the real number may be higher. Born Ricardo Leyva Munoz Ramirez in El Paso, Texas, Richard's descent into darkness began early. With a childhood marred by abuse, exposure to Satanism, and violent influences like his cousin Mike, a Vietnam veteran who boasted of horrific crimes, Ramirez transformed from a troubled boy into a cold-blooded killer. In 1989, Ramirez was convicted of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. He was sentenced to death and placed on death row at San Quentin State Prison. But what happened in the decades that followed? What were the last hours like for a man dubbed the Night Stalker? Ramirez didn't kill for money. He didn't kill for revenge. He killed for chaos. His crimes were random, savage, and sadistic. He wore black clothing, pentagrams, and declared allegiance to Satan. He'd break into homes late at night, slay husbands, assault wives, steal what he could, and vanish into the darkness. The city was paralyzed with fear. No one felt safe. But the terror would end in a shocking turn of justice, not at the hands of police, but by everyday citizens. In August of 1985, after being recognized on a bus, Ramirez was chased down by a group of neighbors, beaten, and held until police arrived. It was a rare moment where the community stood up and took back the night. Before his capture, Ramirez had evaded police thanks to his nomadic movements and lack of pattern. He left behind cryptic messages, unique shoe prints, and chilling taunts. One of the few connections between his crimes was his use of a .22 caliber pistol and his MO of striking at night. Eventually, a single fingerprint pulled from a stolen car would break the case. His identity was confirmed. He was 25. The trial of Richard Ramirez lasted over 4 years and cost taxpayers $1.8 million. He laughed, smirked, and showed no remorse in court. He flashed a pentagram on his hand and said, "Hail Satan." Richard Ramirez was sentenced to die in California's gas chamber. He would never make it to the gas chamber. He spent 23 years on death row, where he received fan mail, got married, and never once admitted guilt. By 2013, Ramirez was a shadow of the monster he once was. Ravaged by B-cell lymphoma, he was transferred to Marin General Hospital. Guarded. Alone. Dying. At 9:10 a.m. on June 7, 2013, Ramirez was pronounced dead. There were no final words. No apologies. Just the end of a man who had brought so much pain. And just like that, the Night Stalker was gone. For many, his death brought closure. But for the families of his victims, the pain remains. Richard Ramirez wasn't born a killer. He was created by abuse, obsession, and evil choices. This story is a reminder, evil can wear any face, even one that smiles. We thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You can choose any of the true crime stories on your screen to watch now. Thank you and see you next time.